Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of the
Oh,
After
we are
Game
on
Night
air.
podcast.
We are on air.
We are on air. We
I
are
was
alive.
counting with 5 more minutes,
Mm-mm,
actually. I was
mm-mm-mm-mm.
about to start scratching my ass, but, well, I
Live?
think I have. It had, yes, exactly. Well, I didn't know it will be live. To be honest, I
Everyone's
thought,
watching. We have about between 1 and 1,000 viewers. We're not
okay,
sure. It could
okay,
be it could be
perfect.
1,000.
Exactly. Yes, 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 yes.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
everything for rating. I mean,
everything for
it's
the ratings. All everything for the views.
exactly. I do this kind of stuff for you. So
If you like
like
this
and
stuff,
subscribe.
if you wanna see
Yeah.
Mask and Maple scratching his butt, please do leave it in the comments.
Yes.
Either way,
If not, I
today,
will do it anyway. I will do it anyway. So better if you like
sadly,
it and you comment.
unfortunately,
Yes. Yes.
that is not today's
Yes.
topic. Today, we're
Yeah.
gonna be talking about board games and the people
Mm,
that love board games, and that is us.
and why?
We are
It's
your
because it's
hosts.
Monday.
We are your
Hmm.
hosts, the Mask and Meeple.
Yay. Hello, beautiful people, and to the not beautiful as well. So for all people,
All people are
Happy
welcome.
Monday. Happy Monday. I know this is something that you don't want to hear because nobody likes Mondays,
We
but
like
that's why
Mondays
we are here to make
to
your
make
Mondays a day that actually is worth to live.
a
That's
day
basically
to
what it
celebrate. Yes,
is. Yeah,
that
some
is perfect.
kind of,
This is the
yeah.
third episode. It's happening, It's the
The
third
third
episode. We
episode, I
are
know.
on fire.
Exactly. This is something that is right now higher than the initial expectedness that we
Achievement
have.
unlocked.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's one of the goals that we
Thank you,
have.
everyone, for your support. This is
Yes, we are
it.
very
It,
excited
it keeps us going.
and
All
proud
right,
of ourselves. Thank you. Thank you.
excellent. So for today, we're gonna start with, as usual, with the games that we've been playing in the last week. So, Mascot, please do tell us about what games you've been getting out to the table.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. For those who are new to our podcast, I have started playing with a group of friends, with a couple of friends that they are coming to our home, and we are playing every weekend, every Saturday. And this Saturday, we had on table two games, two heavy games. Normally we play more, but because they were heavy, we just played
Mm-hmm.
two. The first one was Sight.
Okay,
Sight.
side.
That battling, not battling game. The game where you
The
can or
passive aggressive game.
yeah, I mean, it's one of the stars that you can earn 2 stars if you want for fighting
Okay.
twice in the game, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
but it's you can actually avoid that part and win anyway. But you know me, I
You
like
like
conflict.
violence?
I like violence. I like
Yes, sir.
conflict, and because of that, I earned my 2 stars battling with other two factions. It was
Perfect.
very interesting. I have never played side with a bigger with more than 3 players. But that time, I mean, last weekend, I
Mm.
played for the first time with 4 players,
Okay.
which made me think that that game is probably not the best game for me for 4 play because it was so long,
Oh wow,
um,
how long? Three
including
hours?
I think almost 4, including the explanation.
Oh, okay. Were
Um,
there people that it was their first time playing?
yes, exactly. My
It's a
friends,
classic.
it was the first time they played, and I would like to say that they are good gamers, even when they're into the hobby,
Mhm.
like us, like a regular gamer. Just a
Are you
couple of
kidding
weeks
me? You
ago,
consider yourself a regular gamer?
I don't know. This is this is.
are you are you a regular gamer or are you obsessed? Do
I'm
you
a
have a
regular. No, no,
problem?
I'm a regular gamer.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you
know.
you don't have a problem
How
yet.
how can you consider a person a regular gamer? I mean, how often that
Regular
person needs to
gamer is
play?
like 100 game collection, 80
You're
game
you're
collection.
talking about size right now. I
Well,
think
we'll get there, but just a
no.
little
For me,
preview.
regular gamer is how often you play games. That's
Okay,
what I
okay,
thought that we are
gotcha,
talking.
gotcha. That's
Okay,
fair. That's fair. That's true.
so
It's a good point.
these guys, they were actually we were introducing to our world like I think a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But they like and they enjoy play. They have played Catan and some other games in the
Mm-hmm.
past. But when they met us, it was the first time they explore the whole thing, the whole um, possible, all the options that they have in terms of games. Not that we have all the games, but we have.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll
But
get to the topic of the
but
episode for sure.
but but they are really good players even when they were not used to play a lot of games or
Mm-hmm.
heavy games, medium or heavy games. I mean, we haven't played with them any Lacerda
Mm-hmm.
at this point. I think eventually we'll get there, but at this point I think side is not I think consider medium to heavy game,
Mm-hmm.
especially because you have to the strategy and things like that, and also the duration of the game. So I consider myself side is not it's medium
It's
to
not.
high,
Yeah, it's
heavy,
definitely
medium to
a
heavy
bit
game.
complicated. It has a couple of rules, and I think
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of strategy involved in the sense that if you are playing against experienced players,
right.
you have very
Oof,
little chance of
yes,
winning. It's a game
yes.
that rewards experience for sure. Actually, we have Matias Gamon. It's commenting that he'll never play Sight again. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Matthias, you
He
should tell
was.
us. You
She
should
said,
tell us why.
"Why?"
Yes,
Yeah,
why?
we're intrigued. Why? I mean, I understand there are people that, for me, Side is one of those games that some people loves
Hmm.
and other people really. I don't want to say hate, but maybe don't like it. You
Yeah,
know. So it was very interesting. We have a friend in common that loves Side. You know
yeah.
who it is. Yeah. So I played Side. It was fun, but quite at some point it was like, oh, okay, I just want to get there. I just want to finish the game, end the game. I
Oh,
tried to.
you're
Yeah, I was
tired of
at
it.
that point. Yeah,
Too
I was
long.
tired and I tried to at least play a couple more games for the night, which was impossible because the next game we played was Castle of Burgundy.
Castles
The
of Burgundy,
yes, yes, sir.
the fancy
No,
version,
the deluxe version, the
the
only version that
looks,
matters.
the only version that matters.
Right, right.
Is that
So
right?
yeah, I mean, I think the last week I also played with a different group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
but this was the first time we played with this couple of friends,
Yeah.
and yeah, they like it. They like it. The guy, um, the yeah, I mean, one of the guys, bit of our ass in during the game. It was totally like, I think 30 points difference between the first and second place, which was me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. I actually I heard for the first time this comment about the game when he said like, "Oh, you know what? I think I would like the game more if you don't have to get or you don't if for some reason or somehow the number of workers
Mm-hmm.
were limited, you know, not like
Okay.
you don't have to or the possibility because in the game you can get any number of workers that you can purchase or acquire during the
Right.
game.
Right.
Right, there is no limit for the work, so that's what I mean.
Interesting.
And he said that like, you know what, for me the game will be a little bit more interesting if you have a limited number of workers, because that way it will also will limit other options
Right. It'll make
from
the game tighter.
taking the tiles or placing the
Hmm.
tiles. So I can like, okay, I gave him my point of view
Mm-hmm.
regarding that matter, saying that I think the point of the workers is to mitigate the randomness, during the game, because
Mm-hmm.
they're dice at
Yeah.
the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
So with workers, you can mitigate that part and try to make the game
Yeah.
more strategic
I have
somehow.
only played Castles of Burgundy once on Board Game Arena, and it
Hmm.
was good. I had a good time. I need to
Yeah,
play it more times.
this is one of our absolute favorites from the beginning. And
Who's the designer?
Stefan Feld,
Stefan Feld,
yes,
Mr.
sir.
Stefan Feld.
Stefan Feld, yes, sir.
Very
And
good.
um, and just before we start with the podcast, I play with my daughter, with my oldest. We play Machikoro.
Okay, yeah.
before bed.
Dice rolling and
Die
activating
rolling, yeah,
combos.
it's the game that she plays well.
Oh,
I think she was kind of tired because some other times she played better, but
there. Eh,
I think she likes it. It was a good time for us, and father and daughter time.
how often do you get
And
to play with her?
we try to play at least twice a week.
Oh,
You know?
that's
Yes, yes,
very special.
mostly over weekends, and
Mm-hmm.
mostly Sunday mornings or after. I mean, after school, before bed
Mm-hmm.
someday, because she also has other classes and stuff,
Right.
activities during the afternoon.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to find the right time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so far I played a bunch of other games on Board Game Arena, but I would like to point out that just you know the games that actually reach the table
Fair enough.
during the
Fair
one week.
enough. You're trying to
Oh,
expose me here because
yeah.
unfortunately,
No, that's
I
okay because that's the
I
other.
got
Yeah, go ahead.
zero games, zero physical
Mm,
games out to
so
my table.
you are not a regular player then,
No, I am just
huh?
I'm just a
Mm,
beginner. I'm a noob.
I knew.
A
Okay.
noob. Yeah, no, unfortunately I don't reserve a lot of time for playing games physically,
Mm,
which is kind of sad. I mean, it's not that I don't want to. It's just, adulting kind of sucks. But I still try to get some games play because I want to try new games. I want to, you know, learn what people are trying talking about, what new games are coming out, and a perfect location to do that is to play games on Board Game Arena. There's constantly coming out with digital versions of games that are coming out on the
mhm.
market. So that I really appreciate that. And
Right.
because of that, and another website also called Tabletopia, which is also a place where you can play games
Mhm,
digitally. I got to play
mhm,
two games this last week. One of them was actually yesterday during the live stream on my channel. We played
mhm.
Mycelium, a mushroom game. It's a mushroom theme board game, which we realized that there's been a lot of board games in the last year that have come out with the mushroom theme. I think one of the most famous ones is the one called Undergrove by
Ah,
Elizabeth
right. Yes.
Hargrave with Alderac
Yes.
Entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, so for some reason,
Yes.
mushrooms
Yes.
are cool now.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
um,
in. Mushrooms are in this season.
they are.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it. I think we had a good time. I know Adri's in the chat, so she can tell you guys what she thinks of the game. But
Yeah. Right.
I
She
enjoyed
played
it.
that.
It very briefly in the game we're trying to collect nutrient tokens, and the first player to collect 10 nutrient tokens wins. So
Okay.
it's kind of like an area control fight, to be the first one
Mm,
to acquire the tokens. And at the
mhm.
beginning, my brother and I, we were playing a 4-player game, and my brother and I were just like halfway already. We had 5 cubes, and Adri and Ruben didn't have any. They were
Oh.
focusing on a different strategy, and we were like, oh, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh man, we're like kicking butt too fast. But then,
Uh-huh.
but then, we ran out of the resources to keep building our network,
Oh.
and they had collected the resources. So now they started collecting the cubes to win. And then
Mhm.
there was a point in the game where we all had 7 cubes, so we were all very close to winning,
Wow.
and it came down
Okay.
to the wire. I got lucky and ended up winning by one cube, but
Ah, you're cheating. You're
I did,
cheating,
I
and you
did.
won by
Actually, we did a
one.
little bit all
Yeah,
together.
as
There was a
regular. Okay.
there was a rule
Hmm.
that we forgot about, but
Of course,
uh,
of course. You made it accidentally.
of course, of course. So that was one of them. The other
Hmm.
one that I got to play in Board Game Arena is um, Earth. You know, Earth,
Earth. Okay. Okay. Earth. Okay.
the
Yes. 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 Yes.
Wingspan alike game.
Okay.
A lot of people
Yes.
compare it to
Fair.
Wingspan,
Fair.
and I can see why. You're building for the people that don't know the game Earth. I think came out last year, maybe this year, earlier this year.
I
It's
don't
kind
know.
of recent.
Mm-hmm.
But you're building a tableau of cards, 4 by 4 tableau of cards, and you're playing plants. Most of these cards are plants, and these plants will allow you to collect trees or like trunks, and also collect cubes, which are points. Everything in the game is points. So that reminds you of Wingspan. For example, in
Mm.
Wingspan, you collect cards, and those are points. You collect eggs, and those are points. You collect food tokens, and those are points. So that's why people compare it to Wingspan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
And
the
they are
game.
right.
I think I
Uh-huh.
think Earth is good, but it does give you a lot of points for the public objectives, and some of the
Mm,
public objectives depend on what cars you get. And if you don't get the cars, then there is no way for you to complete them. So that's one
okay.
thing I didn't like about it, but otherwise it's pretty good.
Okay. Okay. And you
Yeah,
said it is in board game arena? I
it
haven't
is in
seen
Board
that.
Game Arena. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
yeah, try it
I'll
out.
check it out. I'll check it
It's
out.
pretty
Yes,
good.
I'll check it out.
And actually,
Okay.
Adri is, yeah, she's commenting that the mushroom game is a lovely game, and you can be mean, haha. So I know Mask Maple will enjoy it. Yeah, you have enjoyed it
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah.
directly attack other people's network.
I started watching last night. Couple of minutes, well, some minutes
Yeah.
from the gameplay. Unfortunately, I had to disconnect. But yeah, it looks nice. I
It's
actually asked
interesting.
for I thought it was a Kickstarter
It
for some
was.
reason because
It was a
because
Kickstarter. Yeah.
in my feed I this
Hmm.
this you know there's sometimes the game designers post regularly about the games and new
Yep.
campaigns, things like that.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, look at that. And when you told us that that will be the game that you were going to play during
Hmm.
the playthrough, uh,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's the campaign ongoing, or what's the deal here?
No.
So that's what I asked yesterday
Yeah.
during
Well,
the
it's
transmission. But
confusing because, like I mentioned,
yeah,
there is so many mushroom themed games, but there is actually a
right.
different mushroom game that is
Yes,
on Kickstarter right now. We want to
right.
play that one too, but it wasn't available on tabletop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably
And
is the one
yeah.
that I was that I got in mind when I thought when you told us about the game about
Yeah.
mushrooms. I thought it would be the only one, but no. And actually, the first time you say that, I thought the game was the one from Elizabeth Hargreaves. To be honest,
Yep. Yep.
because that's the most recent game about mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
Makes
anyway.
sense.
But yeah, but you got fun and you play which is the point. Don't
Yeah.
yeah, and I think we have some open games in Board Game Arena
We
that we
do.
are
You and
also
I.
playing.
Yeah. We're
We
playing.
have Ark Nova,
We have one game of Ark Nova.
Ark Nova pending. Yes, yes.
Ark
We
Nova,
are
the
tied.
good old
We are
game.
tied on that one. You have
We are.
won. You have yeah. You won once, and I have another win, and then I think it was the last time we played that game as well. Anyway, this is the
Mm.
tiebreaker game.
Yeah, actually, Adri is commenting that she really liked playing Earth on Board Game Arena, but she played at Gen Con and
Mm.
IRL. I don't remember.
In
It,
real life, in real
in
life.
real life, oh my goodness, I'm getting old.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh
I
my god.
I had to
I'm
learn
sorry.
about
I'm
it.
sorry, chat.
You
I'm
are
getting
old.
old. You had to
Yes,
teach me these
you're getting
things.
old.
Uh,
LOL.
yeah, but she
LOL.
apparently playing in real life was a
Mm-hmm.
lot better to understand the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, because you know what, the downside of Board Game Arena taking the like care of all the what we call of the upkeep, doing the calculations and taking care of all the payment and costs of the game. It doesn't let you learn the process. So then when you go to play physically, you might be doing something wrong, or you don't know how to process the upkeep phase or something like that. So that is one downside, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so are we ready to move on to today's topic?
Yep, yep. I just want real quick to point
Yes.
out that I don't know why um, I watched a review on Dice Tower about this game Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and they were comparing the game more with Ark Nova than with Wingspan. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know. They say
Mm,
like this is like it was like they compare a lot Terraforming Mars with Ark Nova. You know,
yes. Yeah.
you know. I catch the idea.
That's
It,
very interesting.
other than the huge deck, there's just a couple of similarities, but anyway, and they will say, okay, if you like Ark Nova, but you don't want the game that long like forever,
Yeah.
you can play Earth, and it will be like I don't know, or maybe I'm wrong, but probably it's because you now that you're saying that it's more Wingspan alike,
Yep.
it makes sense for all the things that you mentioned,
Yep.
the point salad that you have.
There are points for everything.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but
If you stand up, you have 5 points.
here you go. Oh, you took your turn. Here you go,
Yeah.
5 points. Um,
Mhm.
but you know what? I
Yeah.
still like Wingspan more than Earth, but because
Okay.
of the reason I mentioned, the fact that the objectives on Earth sometimes cannot be achieved if you
Okay.
get unlucky. Whereas with, I feel like with Wingspans, the objectives are a bit more balanced. Well, anyway,
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I would like to try it anyway, just to have an idea. At some point, I was like tempting to try it physically. I normally do the wrong thing of buying a game, then playing, and decide if I like it or not.
that's the fun way.
Yes,
Expensive, but fun way.
that's why it came out this podcast, this episode of the podcast, when we will talk about why size matters.
Why
So
size matters. So
that's
yeah,
basically the AKA of this episode. So yeah, please
that
go
is
ahead. Sorry.
correct.
Mhm.
So today we're trying to answer the question of what is the ideal number of board games in your collection. It's a very open-ended question that you can look at it from multiple angles, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it'll open the way for an interesting discussion. So people in the chat, feel free to let us know your
Yeah.
answers to this question. What do you think is the ideal number of games in your collection?
We were very lucky when we opened the question in our Instagram account,
Mm-hmm.
asking for participation of our followers and general people to answer the question. We got a good number of answers so far, but yeah, it's strange the variety, as like you said. It's a very
Yeah,
open question.
it
It's
is.
a very open question. We'll see, because you will see also, because I think Axel has a very different point of view, a
Yeah,
very different number in mind, the number I have
yeah.
right now. So why don't you start
Yeah,
with
well,
this?
before we start,
And into this.
maybe you
Yeah.
wanna read Alba's comments.
Yay! Oh, it's not the size of the collection, it's how you use it. Exactly. As I love the comedies because you can apply it for
Perfect,
everything, everything.
perfect timing.
Yeah,
All right,
perfect. I
so
like it. I like it. I like it, Alba. Clever.
so
So,
what is
and it's
the
true.
ideal
Yeah.
number
Mm.
of games in my collection? You know what? It's such a difficult question because
Yeah, we
as a
know.
collector, I think you should have as
Mm,
many as you can, right? As long as you can pay for them and have space for them. But
exactly. Yes.
obviously, I'm not rich, so I am limited by space and money. Uh,
Okay.
and I'm also a gamer, right? I'm not just a collector. I do like collecting the games, but I also
Hmm.
enjoy playing them. And if we
Hmm.
employ some kind of logic, there is only 365 days in a year, so maybe 365 games in your collection. So maybe you can play one a day. I don't know.
you,
Uh,
you you have the simplest answer to the question. It's like, e- even if you have in mind to play one game every day during 1 year, it
mhm,
will be
mhm.
pretty much impossible to do that
Yeah,
first.
that's what I'm
First,
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you have even more than 365? There is no way to play all of them. I mean,
you
it's
can
not
play. You can
impossible.
play.
You could dedicate 1 year of your life to playing every single game in
No,
your
but
collection.
let's say, hold on. What if you dedicate like the weekends for playing, and you play like 4, 5 games Saturday, maybe a couple more on Sunday. I mean,
Well,
obviously, you have to consider timing. There's a lot of other factors like children,
yeah, yeah. Adulting life,
adulting things,
responsibilities.
your responsibilities. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
that was the actually the question, the word I wanted to use. So there is some various factors involved in
yeah,
this matter.
yeah.
But well, and your train of thought, and then I'll
Yes.
go with mine. Mhm.
So then I was also thinking like, okay, let's try to be a little bit more conservative, and let's say that let's try to have a smaller number, a number that you can actually play all of them uh, in a year. And then I was thinking, okay, what if I had like 10 games for every mechanism that exists? 10 worker
Mm.
placement, 10 deck builder, 10 action selection, 10 uh,
Party games.
party games, and auction, and all the mechanisms that exist. I actually don't know. That got me wondering how many mechanisms there exist. And then, of
Aha.
course, some games combine multiple
Aha.
mechanisms, but
Damn it. You won. Okay.
but then I was like, okay, maybe I could use that and just have
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm gonna have 10 worker placement games, and if I want
Uh-huh.
a new one, I have to take one out. If
Wow.
there is one that comes in, one has to go
You're a
out.
monster.
That
You're a
would be like the
monster.
the ultimate curated uh,
Aha.
gamer collection. Because obviously, if you're a collector, then just get as many as you can.
Right.
But maybe
Right.
maybe you are trying to focus on the gaming experience and be like, okay, these I only have 10, but these 10 are the best worker placement games I have played in my life.
Okay.
That could be
Okay.
interesting.
And why? What if for some reason you are a worker placement gamer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I really into this
Yep.
genre.
Yep.
It will be more difficult for people that enjoy mechanics more than others. Like I said, worker placement, or I personally like deck building games, right?
Right.
It will be difficult to just choose 10,
Yeah.
right? Because at some point it's a very difficult, it's a very difficult decision. It's a very
It is.
difficult question to answer. Now let me just put it in my words now.
Yep. Yep.
I started playing just because I like it, and because one thing is like, okay, the first games that I bought, we played like, honestly, more than 50 times. 50 times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we have just like 5 games in our collection initially, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
we played and played, and we used to play like 2 or 3 times the same game in a night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
have like 2 or 3 games of the same,
Yeah.
we
That
play the
was at the
same game
beginning.
2 or 3 times. And that's why if you check, there are some sheets sometimes in the games too, when you can score points.
Yep.
If you check our wingspan sheet, it's complete, it's full,
Wow.
full. I'm not lying. I'll show you sometime.
Okay.
The game that I mentioned in the first episode, Carnival of Monsters, the game that was
Mm-hmm.
the gateway game for me,
Yeah.
same thing. But at some point, it was like, okay, I tried this new game, and then I
Mm-hmm.
purchased it because I like it, and then I get this one, and then this one, and then it was like
Yep.
the first game
And then you don't
got
have time to
forgotten.
play them.
And this is also true. At some point, it was for me like, okay, there are the game boxes are also decorative. So it's okay
Well,
if
it
you
is
have a
true.
lot.
Like you have canvas, right? Canvas, for example. That one
Canvas, right?
literally is meant to be hanged on the wall.
Let me try to explain how my living room is. The space in my living room is, right now. We have the screen for the
Mm-hmm.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
We have a small space between the TV and sofa.
Yeah.
Then behind the sofa, we have the shelf of games, or the
Shelf of
shelves.
games or shelf of shame?
No. There, they would sometimes they're just
They're
became
mixed. They're
one.
hidden. The shame
They just
games are
became one.
hidden between the real games.
Exactly, yeah, and that's why also you forgot about those games, but but yeah, and we have like this small aisle between the sofa and
Mm-hmm.
the shelves. But it was like, okay, it looks nice because you have in the back all the games. It looks nice. It
They're
doesn't matter if
pretty.
you have because they are right.
They are pretty boxes.
But at some point is just. But I honestly don't have at this moment in my life. I think I have start trying to get rid of some games.
Oh.
But if you ask me that question, why don't you get rid of some games? You
Mm-hmm.
either donate or try to sell it. whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I will say no. I don't have heart to do that because there is one. There was one. There was a reason why I purchased those games
Yeah.
because I like it for one reason or another, and I will play it. That was my thought as well. I will play it eventually.
One day
One day
before
it
I
will come
die,
out.
if we play
There are
once.
there are exactly yes, and there are games that I only have played once,
Yeah.
and it was like, yeah, I like it, but I rather prefer to play others because we don't have time or we are trying to
Because you
explain
know the
this game
rules of
to
the
me.
other game.
Yes,
You don't want to spend
and
the
that
time to
happened
learn it.
also. That happened also when you only play a game once
Mm-hmm.
and you play a different one, a different game next day or next week, whatever,
Yep.
you will forget about the rules of
Yep.
the last game you play. So it will be more difficult. And we will like, I have to read again the rule book and blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult. It's tough now.
Tough. It's
Yeah.
so tough. The gamer life, the board gamer life is so tough.
Hmm.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
here, Alva is commenting. She says, "I always want to make my collection smaller in theory, but then I see the next game I want, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next." Yeah, that is a
High
real,
five, Alva. High five.
it's a real problem.
I feel you.
And then Adri says, "No, why would you do that? No calling Excel." I have not. I have not. I have thought about it. I feel like I should. I feel like I should, but just like you, I just it hurts. It
Yeah, it
hurts.
hurts.
I don't know
I
why.
definitely, I definitely have some games that I definitely would like to get rid of,
Hmm.
but I've been thinking of this like for 6 months. So why I haven't, actually got rid of the games? I don't know.
There must be,
Yeah,
you
but
know how you know the phrase FOMO, like fear of missing out.
no, I know.
You
Now I
don't know
know, but
the
no,
okay. So
no.
there is a especially for Kickstarter.
It's
I
a
thought you
phobia.
will know about it because
It's a phobia.
it's no, it's not a phobia, but it's like
Okay.
it's literally FOMO. So it's fear of missing out. So that's what Kickstarter is mostly about. You know, where they tell you like, oh, if you don't get the game right now, you're never gonna buy it.
Oh,
You're never gonna find it.
those
Buy it
kind
right
of
now, or you're never gonna get it. And then you're like, oh
kind of a
man, I'm gonna
one.
miss out on this amazing game. I need to get it
Right,
now.
right.
And is it good? I don't know. Is it pretty? I don't know. But if
It's,
I don't
it's
get it now,
marketing.
I'm
You
never
said
gonna
that.
get it.
You said
Um,
that.
so
Yeah.
that's fear of missing out. I feel like there should be a term about fear of letting go, fear of selling games.
Right, 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 right.
we'll
Yes.
we'll we'll have
No,
to trademark
definitely.
that phrase right here. You heard it first,
No,
and after
no,
game night.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, uh, I 100% agree on that. Because I I had that feeling in the past when I started using Kickstarter. I start getting to Kickstarter. That's the uh, I discovered that I can get I could be exclusive or be part of an exclusive group of people that
Hmm.
will get something
Yeah. Yeah.
exclusive.
First,
And no,
there it
and
is.
also and that happened to me not only with board games and collector, but not only before board games. I was also used to collect comics.
Hmm.
I like it. And when I moved from Mexico to United States,
Hmm.
I left behind a lot of comics, boxes
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
boxes that they were now in Mexico. They were left. And when I came here, I start all purchasing more comics again. I
Right.
have another box over there that obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even read those comics. I just purchase because I like it. I like the cover. I like the art. Whatever reason
Yeah.
you have, because you will have reasons all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought it because I like the
Makes you
cover or
happy.
the
That's the only
artist or
reason you
whatever.
need. It makes you happy.
Yeah, stupid capitalism, but I like it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, Alva is she gave us the abbreviation FOLG, fear of letting go.
Oh, actually?
I don't know if it's an actual thing or maybe we just
She just made it.
yeah, maybe we just develop it right here. But I guess it's just a quick Google away from
Make it
checking it out.
universal. Yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, you have the abbreviation
Oh.
for all the gamers.
Alba has
This is
actually a
what
question for you. She asks, "What's the first thing you bought again when you were starting over?
the first thing you
Did you
hmm,
rebuy anything, or you were like, no, I don't, not gonna buy that because I know I have it back in Mexico."
no. I never bought anything that I already had. I mean, it's like no, but it's just that feeling that I la- the same thing happened when I go to a game store. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot just go into a game store without buying at least something, whatever,
Like
a
a candy
card
shop.
game, or whatever. Why? I mean, there's no need, but you
Someone's
have to.
temptation. Like, oh,
Yes,
look at all
yes.
those pretty
Stupid.
boxes.
It's stupid. I told my daughter earlier today that just because it's Monday and nobody opened or around here there is no game stores open on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason why nobody likes Mondays. The good things are closed on Mondays,
Good things,
except us.
except
Except
us. We're
us.
open. We're
We're
open
open.
for
Yeah,
discussion.
exactly. Um, Otherwise, today I got that in mind. Like, you know what? It's been a while since the last time we went into a game store, so probably we have to go and check it out. And you know why? I promised myself that I would like to get into this, but I start feeling that I really want to get a deck of Lorcana.
Oh, you're bringing up
I
Lorcana.
I
Oh
I
man,
promised myself at GameCon there was a
wasn't it like
huge
super
line of
difficult
crazy
to get
people.
at Gen Con or
Right now
something
it's
like that?
sold out everywhere.
Sold out
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Even in the games, I mean online stores, Amazon. I'm pretty sure there will be a couple of local game stores that they have something, but
Mm-hmm.
so far, if you try to look for the decks, the first decks and the booster packs, they were pretty much sold out or
Mm.
stupidly expensive because there are people that resell the boost and stuff or
Mm-hmm.
the decks, and they're
Yep. Yep.
exaggerating
But
on the prices.
do you
Yes,
think they meant to have a very little amount of copies so that to
of
drive
course. Yeah,
the balance between buyers and hiking up the price?
I don't know if that was one of their reasons, but what I know for sure is they have a terrible organization on how they distribute everything or the first wave, let's say, of merchandise or
Mm.
whatever they consider for the decks and the booster
I
pack.
guess that's like
Because
the real life Kickstarter version
right,
or
right, so far
experience.
experience,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so far. But the difference with Kickstarter and this one is that in Kickstarter, as long as you give them money, they can,
Mm-hmm.
this that don't matter. It's like, yeah, we can ask for more copies, and as long as we have money, or as we can, the campaign raise enough money, we can, just send more copies to the factory.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think they have a limited amount because they were also trying to explore, the terrain and see
Oh,
if
if
there
it
was
was gonna
actually
be well received.
exactly because that happened with their other game, Disney Sorcery stuff like that. I don't know, the one that they tried to
Oh,
compete with and match.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that game
I
wasn't
forgot
that
the name of that
successful as
game.
they were. Yeah, because it's pretty much
I
the
think
same thing.
Sorcerer's Arena thing. Let me see.
Sorcery Arena, thank you. Yeah, that's the one. Yes.
Yep.
Um, I'm, and if you think I mean, if you think with the cold mind, Lorcan is just another trading card game.
It
It's
is.
offering pretty much the same experience as Magic and stuff, but you have Disney characters, and it's exciting to see Aladdin kicking the ass of the God Fairy from Cinderella. That's cool. I mean, I like that idea. That concept is fine.
Yeah.
Fighting Nemo against, I don't know, Captain Hook or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly
People
how
like
they
to see their
fight or whatever.
favorite characters
You're kicking
on the
them
table.
asses. Yes, exactly, and I like that too. Um, that's why I was start thinking that it would be a very good idea just to, stop by a local game store and see if they have something.
And they did.
Uh, Look, no, like I said, today's Monday. Everything
Oh,
was
they were
closed today,
close.
so otherwise, I'm pretty
I
sure.
seen some mixed reviews about Lorcana. So
Yeah,
in
definitely.
terms of mechanisms and experience, I'm not sure
Mhm,
if it lives up to the hype that it's receiving, but based on the theme, it's definitely understandable why it's
mhm,
very everyone's looking for it. And yeah,
mhm.
Adrian and Alba have been commenting on how crazy the line was at Gen Con for it.
Yeah, I was first sight.
Oh, look at this. Adri is actually educating us in the chat. She found that this
Ah.
posophobia is the fear of losing things or an intense fear of getting rid of stuff. I think that's suffered by all board gamers. We all have this
Hmm.
posophobia, or at least most of us.
I mean, I didn't know I have it until she told us.
There you go. Whenever the people ask you, do you have any kind of phobia? There you go.
Yes, I
This
do.
sophophobia.
This sophophobia.
This posophobia. Oh my god, that's a
This
difficult word.
posophobia. Yeah, it's still, all the phobias are difficult to remind. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Um.
know.
Excellent. I think we got derailed a little bit from the topic, but Masket, we cannot move on to the next section. Well, first, before we go into the comments, but before we leave our point of view about the question, we need to give a number.
Okay.
What is your number?
Ah,
Obviously, it's not like, oh, you have to do it tomorrow, but
no,
if
no, of course not,
if
because
you
so
could
far,
choose
right?
an answer
Just
to the question.
I would like to know. I would like to let you know that, or not only you,
Mm-hmm.
everyone who is watching this episode,
Yep.
at some point I try to get a record of every single game. Every time I purchase a new game, I put it my stat and I knew it, blah blah blah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
stopped doing at the 300.
Oh
So at 300 I
man.
stopped doing that. It was like no, for some reason. And after that I got lazy and I said like no, I will not doing that for all the games that
It's
it
a
will be
job.
I maybe the next time I move, when I need to get all the boxes in a big
Oh
box,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a
I
nightmare.
will
Unless you pay
probably will
someone
do
to
an
do it. If you
inventory.
can pay someone to do it, then good for you, because otherwise it's gonna be a
Yeah,
workout.
no, no. Well, I need to mentalize about that. But
Okay.
in the
Hmm.
meantime, I will say that the ideal number of games in collection is no more than 300. No
Okay.
more than 300.
No more.
No
Do
more
you
than
have a
300.
reason why, or you
Because
just
no,
300?
it's just because I honestly think that at some point there are too many games. I think there are games that I haven't played in almost a year.
Right.
So why you have them if
Yep.
you are not playing those games?
Yeah.
I know you have in mind like I will play it eventually,
Yeah.
someday. I
One
don't want to
day.
get rid of the game because I really like it. So if you really like it, why you don't play
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The sad life of board gamers.
So I think 300 no more than that,
Okay.
including the small things, the car games and stuff.
Right.
Not
Right.
only boxes, not including everything.
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that's my numbers and that's my reason. What about
Okay.
you?
I think I think I have about 100, a little bit more than 150 right now.
Okay.
I the same thing happened to me. I was keeping track of how many I had, and then all of a sudden, like a wave of Kickstarter and things arrived, and I was like, okay, I lost track.
You
So it's
got
been a couple of
overrated.
months since I lost track. That's why I'm
Yeah.
guessing a little bit more
Okay.
than 150 because that was the last number. Uh, maybe maybe I'll say 150 just because that's kind of almost half the year, and
Mm.
because I want to be able to. I like the idea that you should be able to play each game at least once a year. I
Yes.
feel like
Yes.
if you're not able to play a game in like A year, 2 years, three
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
then I don't know if it's gonna happen.
yeah,
Like being
exactly.
realistic.
Yeah,
Like you need to understand why it's not happening. Do you not like the game? Is it too complicated? Is it do you need a specific set of number of players or
hmm,
type of players, and that's just not happening? Like, what are the chances that's gonna happen? And even this, if the situation happens, are you gonna play the game or are you gonna do something else? So you gotta really talk to yourself seriously and be like, okay, this game is not gonna happen, so move out.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, I think 150.
And you just mentioned a couple of things that are very very interesting because it happened to me. Like, yes, I've been waiting for this time when I have regular friends to play games.
Yeah, yeah,
I will start playing the games that I was waiting for,
yeah.
the right people to start playing.
And
It
what
didn't
happened?
happen.
It was a
It
lie.
didn't happen.
They
No.
lied to you.
Yes, of course. I mean, how can I
Sad.
be a trustful person if I cannot, be honest with myself either? So, but
Yeah.
uh, but it's
Difficult
complicated.
conversations.
It's complicated. I totally understand that part as well. I.
Yeah.
I'll just also like to say that, but just to close this
Yep.
this
Yep.
our opinion here,
Mm-hmm.
that also depends on how what's the time that you consider you have to play games. Like, for instance, my example that I just gave at the beginning of the episode, I normally used to play, or I consider myself that I played enough number of games during a week,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5 6 games per week, and that's just an average number, right?
Right.
um, and because of that, I consider I can easily play 300 games in a year. But
Yep.
the case that you said at the beginning also of the podcast, that you don't play that often, or you don't play game physically that often, that you like,
Yeah.
maybe 150 makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It
it
really
depends
depends on the
also
time that you have available to
depends also
play
on the
them.
availability and the things that yeah, things, it's
Yeah.
life happens. It's
It
unfortunate, but
does.
it's sad. It's sad.
Adulting. Adulting is
Adult,
sad.
yeah,
Um. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at
Mm-hmm.
the comments from the people
Yay.
on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have Lizzie. She says, that's the figure of authority of my house. No more than 10. As a board gamer, there is no limit. 10. That's
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know because she mentioned that to me, saying that um,
10.
10, it's number, thinking of financial, from the financial point of view as well,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But also, every time I bring another game into our home, is
Mhm.
like, oh, I will play it. I'll play it. Yes, just
Yeah.
give it to me. That's okay. Obviously, yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
good reason. What else we have?
We have Sokon back 350, maybe 350. I don't know if they were wondering. They were using the same logic of like almost like one per day for
Hmm.
the whole year. Could be.
Right. Yeah.
Panatsu Gaming. It says
Infinite.
infinite. Of
Infinite.
course, that is the correct answer for all of us.
Of course. Now we have Dante, or your
Yeah,
brother, saying 40, 50,
40,
and I know
50.
for sure he's speaking through, because that's actually his feeling. He's
Yep.
not a big collector. He
No.
considers that there are just a few
He's
games,
starting. That's what I used
right?
to think when I started. I was like, oh, 100 games? Oh, that's crazy. I'm never gonna get to 100. I'm gonna be in the hobby for like 15 years by the time I get to 100.
Mm-hmm.
No, that
Mm-hmm.
is not
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Then Darin said 100. Maple Sabaninis said 100, but she's way over
I'm way
on
over.
Adri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adri
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it will depend. As we said,
Yep.
if you are a new board gamer, 100 plus,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have some time in the hobby, 300 plus, probably, aside of time in the hobby, time. to actually play the games, right?
Yep. Yep.
Enough time to play the games that you have in your
Yes.
collection. But it's hard. It's difficult question. It's a difficult decision just to see a game that, like I said, for some reason you got it, you enjoy the time. That I just wanted to mention this also, that I don't know if that happened to you, that there are games that have replaced other games. For me, I just have this case really fresh in my mind right now. I have played Point City
Okay.
in the past. I played Point City twice in the last 2 weeks or so,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they say that it was the sequence kind of from Point
Point
Salad
salad.
game.
Yep.
I I honestly don't see why I would like to play Point Salad anymore if I
Okay.
have Point City.
Are you getting rid of it?
Probably yes,
Mm.
because
This
like I
is the
said,
beginning.
it's probably the same, just a little bit more difficult to understand the game,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but it's not. It's the same. I cannot say that it's not even a medium game,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
It's an engine building game that you can explain to other players in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and you play in 30, 40 minutes if you
Mm-hmm.
are playing with 4 players.
Yep.
It's really, really fast game, pretty much the same feeling that you have when you play Point Salad, but it's better. For
Got
me,
it.
it's better.
Okay.
So
So.
I will probably will start thinking on games that will probably have the or will give me the same feeling
Mm-hmm.
than other, and will replace. I have this case, and the other one is compared between Clank. I don't know if you have played Clank.
I have not played Clank,
Well, I have
unfortunately.
Clank, and the version of Clank that I have is Clank in Space, and
Mm-hmm.
the other game that is pretty much similar is The Hunger. The
Okay.
Hunger. So they are pretty much the same. They have pretty much the same
Mm.
mechanic. They're very similar, and I like more Clank than
Okay.
The Hunger. So probably I will start doing those decisions,
Makes
and
sense. It makes sense.
probably that will get maybe 10 games. That's it. But I'll get
Hey,
rid of ten
it's
games at the end.
something. It's more
It's
space for
it's
new
something.
games.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the only reason why I will get rid of those games.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Alrighty.
that's really. Hmm.
Difficult question for today's topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving
Yeah. Yeah.
on to the last section of our podcast episodes, which is chismecito. Chismecito,
Chismecito.
chismecito. So,
All the tastiest part of the podcast. The podcast.
mm,
Last week I started
spicy.
with this section, so I will leave to you to start
I bring
today
the
on that
chismecito
part.
first.
Yeah, first. Go ahead.
Well, I know I've been talking about it every episode, but I finally got a tracking email for
Woo!
what I think is Boyfall. I seen everyone
Oh.
getting their Boyfall copies, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
where is my
Mm-hmm.
Boyfall copy? I want to see it. It looks
Oof.
amazing. I want it
Oof.
now.
Of course. Of
Maybe it'll be a
course.
game that I get to play physically
Mm-hmm.
soon. That'll be really
Yes.
nice. That will
Yes.
be really nice. Other news.
Mm-hmm.
While I was making recording a video for one of my channels, I was going through the list of board games that are coming out on Essen in
Okay.
early October. Which
Oh.
Essen,
Mm-hmm.
for the people that don't know it, it's biggest board game convention in the world, celebrated in
Mm-hmm.
Essen, Germany. This year is from
It's
October
coming
5th,
this weekend, right?
October 5th and
Oh.
to October 8th, so 3 days.
Okay. Yeah.
It
Okay.
still has like 2 more weeks, I think, before it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like most board gamers' dream convention to attend someday. You know,
Okay.
like a milestone, like an achievement unlocked, like a wish
Mm.
list, like a bucket
Yeah.
list.
Exactly.
That's what I
Yes.
was looking for. But anyway, I looked around the games, and there were a lot that caught my attention. Did you get to try the game Turing Machine not this year, but last year on Gen Con? Turing Machine.
The
Turing
one with the
Machine.
big truck and stuff, like they have no. So
No,
it's
no,
not
it
the
was
same.
a green one by Masquerade Games. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. No. it doesn't ring a bell.
Let me see. Let me see. Look it up. Turing machine. It's a social. No, it's not a social. It's a logic deduction game.
Okay.
Where you have you
Okay.
played
No.
Search for Planet X?
No. No. I haven't.
Okay,
No, I have not.
it's that type of games. So this is Turing machine. You're pretty much trying to decode a
Ah,
puzzle.
Turing machine. Turing
Yes,
machine. Ah, the
yes,
one with
yes.
the programming.
Yeah. With the
Okay.
cards that have the holes, and you're trying to ask questions to get the code, and the cards tell you if it's right or if it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It made a lot of noise on the Gen Con
On
that
Gen
last
Con last
went.
year.
Yeah, last
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
like
Yes.
sold out, and people were like raving about it. So
Mm-hmm.
the designer Johan Levitt, he is coming out with a new one called Archaeologic,
Okay.
and it seems to be very like similar, where you have like this deck of like this device that has holes, and you have cards that go in it, and you ask questions. In this game, what's happening thematically is that we discover a city on the mountain, and
Okay.
but no one wants to go in the city because there's no map of it. You don't want to get lost.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
players are tasked with uh, figuring out or
Mm-hmm.
creating the map of the city, and so you have to figure out where every building is, and that's what this device allows you to do. So the first
Okay.
player to figure out um, to complete the city correctly wins. So it reminds me a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Turing Machine, and it makes sense
Turing
because it's
machine.
the
Mm-hmm.
same designer,
So looks
Archaeologic.
like this guy is really into this kind of games, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
It
think he's
seems like
preparing. He will probably preparing a saga or thing like that of
I think so.
games.
I mean, who?
Sounds like.
Why? Right. He
Mm,
had a really good success with his previous game. It makes sense that he makes something, a sequel to it. And this one seems to have even like tiles on it, so there might be some kind of tile placement which Turing Machine didn't have. So I think he took his base design and like added more to it somehow.
hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Turing Machine is a cooperative or a solo game?
Multi solitaire. It's competitive. It's
It's
competitive,
competitive.
but it's a
I
race,
thought
right?
it was a cooperative game.
No, I feel like it's competitive.
Okay, that's
Let me
why.
see. Yeah, yeah, it's
I'll
competitive.
need to take a look on that because for some reason, I remember I read that that was a cooperative game. I'm not a big fan of cooperative games. I have some in
Mm-hmm.
my collection,
Mm-hmm.
but not huge fan of those games, and
Yeah.
that's why I was like, no, maybe skip it. So, but I honestly also haven't had the time to read through the rules or even watch a video explaining the whatever more details about the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely take a look then because if there is a competitive game, I am a programmer. I'm
Mm-hmm.
into IT, so definitely the thematic Turing machine. It's like
It
the mother
appeals
of
to you.
all programming stuff. Yeah, it will probably have my attention on that particular matter. But
Makes sense.
when they say, or for some reason, would I remembering? I'm remembering right now, trying to remember uh, why I thought that it was a cooperative game. But if
Mm.
that's not the case, I will probably will take a look and see actually what is the
How it
mechanics
works.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how it
You
works.
should. I mean, a lot of people liked it.
Hmm.
Adri comments that she's been told that Essen is crazier than Gen Con and almost no chance to play games. But yeah, the dream is to go there at least once and experience it.
Hmm.
So spoilers. Like I mentioned, I was looking up games and learning a little bit about Essen for the video I recorded, and I learned that Essen has about 150,000 attendees. 150,000. Gen Con, for those who have gone and can visualize how big it is, Gen Con has about 60,000.
60.
So
Yes.
Essen is 3 times more people than Gen Con.
Shit.
And you think Gen Con is a lot.
Shit.
It's crazy.
Yes.
And yeah, I also heard what Adri was commenting
Shit.
that there is not a lot of chance to play. It's more about like seeing all the new games and buying the new games, and then
Buying,
taking
yes,
them home
selling,
to play.
buying.
Yeah,
It's a yes, it will be crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have four
Mhm.
other games because the video recorded is a top five games that I am excited about for Essen, but we
Oh,
will leave
yeah,
that for the video.
yeah,
That's all
exactly.
the news I want to bring
Yeah,
in today. So, Masket, please share with us what's
we,
up.
yeah, we don't want you to spoil your video,
No
so yeah, better if
spoilers.
you go and check
It's gonna be in
the
Spanish
actual
though.
video.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, you will
If
learn.
you
You
don't
will
know
learn
Spanish,
Spanish
then it'll
too.
be good. You can learn.
Yeah, you can learn. You can
Yeah,
see. Oh, he's talking about this game. So yeah,
you
I'll try
get to
to figure
learn
out what
Spanish
he's saying.
talking about board
And
games.
phew,
Best way to learn
boom,
about it.
boom. Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I really like this season of the year. By this season, I mean fall, because
Mhm.
fall, I think, it has begun.
Mhm. Mhm.
The weather is different and everything is better so
Yeah.
far. It's not super cold, at least where I live. It's really just the right time of the year.
Perfect.
Um, and fall also means Halloween and all this
Yep.
stuff, and
Yep.
all the stores around. Put it in your mind just after the summer
Candy.
ends. Yeah, exactly. I can feel Christmas already as well, just because they start selling a Christmas tree and decorations. It's crazy. But anyway,
Mhm.
that made me remind about a game that we played once.
Oh
Yeah, you
yeah.
were play,
Dreadful
Dreadful
Meadows.
Meadows. Dreadful
Yeah.
Meadows.
The one with the
Yeah,
candies. I love it.
they were
That was a
supposed
good
to.
one.
I backed the game,
Okay.
and they were supposed to arrive before Halloween,
Oh, perfect
because
timing.
perfect timing and stuff. So I think they're able to actually start distributing the game before that. It will be very good,
Mhm.
because it will be like really it will, maybe just for a moment, but it will create a timing
Yeah.
for the game, for players start playing the game in the perfect season, the perfect time of the
Yeah, the
year.
best time of the year to play Dreadful Meadows.
Yeah.
Right on
So
topic.
I just wanted to bring that out,
That's
that
exciting.
they are supposed to start the distribution later this month. I think by the end of this month.
Mm,
And yeah, they will probably will have a whole month to complete pretty much the rest of the distribution. So that's first
perfect.
thing.
Perfect. Perfect.
And the other thing that I would like to mention today, there's another game that I backed last year, and
Okay.
I'm pretty excited to
Mm,
get it. There's actually two games. The first one I would like to mention is Anunnaki.
okay.
Anunnaki Anunnaki. There's another title of the game. I remember Anunnaki, something about gods, right?
Yep.
So aside of
Ah,
the conspirations, Anunnaki, whatever, you will find out and you will let us know what it is. The correct
yeah, I'm
game.
trying to look it up, but I don't
It's
have the
double
right
N. It's
spelling.
ANNU something. Anunnaki.
Oh
Well,
no. Nah. Oh no. No.
Anunnaki. Anunnaki.
Ah, you should type it in the chat.
Yeah, let
Which,
me
by the way,
see.
before we move on to Anunnaki, Adri said that she's seen some copies delivered. I think she's talking about Dreadful Meadows, and
Right.
Alba mentions that she wants Dreadful Meadows. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it played well. We played. I remember that, and that's why I backed the game, because we played. Those were
Yeah.
that was one of the fewest exceptions of my rule of first purchase then played.
Oh, I found it. I found it.
You found it up.
Anunnaki,
Yes, sir.
Dawn of Gods.
Dawn of Gods. Thank you. Yes,
There
that's
it
the one.
is. There it is. Oh, that looks like a big old
I
miniature
it,
violent
it's
game.
a cranial creation game, if I'm correct. Correct me if
It
I'm
is,
wrong.
yeah. Cranial
It's
Creations.
it's from the same guys that have Barrel, no,
Barrage. Barrage,
Barrage,
yeah.
Barrage.
That's the
That's
only
the one.
game I have played from them.
So yeah, um, and this game thematically catch me from the time I seen in Kickstarter, because you're supposed to have control of one of the ancient
Mm-hmm.
civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Egyptians, you have um, the Greeks, and you have some, I think, Japanese. There's a lot of
Different culture, mythology.
ancient civilizations,
Yep.
and you basically fight for control of the universe. So
Okay.
what can
Nothing.
because
Just a
you're
casual fight.
you're moving around planets, jumping, try to colonize planets because gods are
Mm-hmm.
universal. They're not
Yeah.
limited to our world, you know.
Yeah.
That's why they're gods.
Yep.
And yeah, the game is just about control and massacre, and well, I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
massacre, but at least there will be
Fighting
conflict
for
involved.
area.
Yes, and just the thematic and the miniatures and the art and stuff at the company. I'm really having high expectations. I know that I shouldn't have high expectations of games, especially in Kickstarter,
Yeah.
but I really thematically, I really, I'm just hoping for trying to get the best about the game, and just trying to get the high expectations, but at the same time to keep it low. Some
Right.
point.
Right. Don't get too
But
excited because then there's only one way,
but hear me,
which is
listen to
down.
me, listen to me. I'm very excited right now about the game,
That's
and
cool.
I hope I'm expecting to receive the game by the end of this year.
Okay.
They were talking about that, but we'll see. We'll see if
All
that's
right.
actually
Like
occasion.
Adri
And
said, fingers crossed
fingers
for
crossed.
Mask Maple.
And the last game I would like to mention is Batam West. Batam West.
Okay. Yeah.
That game. It's been delayed. I don't know if delayed, but it has taken a long time for the actual production. Um, I think it was 2 years right now since the campaign was launched,
Okay.
and
So
I
that's quite
was
a bit.
patiently waiting. I've been patiently waiting for the game, and looks like finally is just in the last part of the I don't know. I think they already completed the production of the game, and they're about to ship the game. You know how the
Okay.
process is. Everything is produced in China,
Yeah.
and they have to ship it. And but they are start. You know they have a very big campaign with media. They created a special website for the game,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of things. So we have
So they've
everything
been
right now.
investing a lot into the game, huh?
We have a lot. We have a lot of content about the game, except the game right now.
It's like a. I think I remember being excited about this one too. I didn't get a chance to back it, but what isn't it like a sandbox, um,
Yes, yes,
cowboy
yeah.
adventure,
It reminds me a little about
Western
what is the
Legends,
game?
maybe?
Western Legends. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Yeah.
love the game. I backed the whole thing as well. I have
Mm-hmm.
because I really like the game. Um, but when I saw this button, it was like for me, it was like looks like this game is the next level, the next step
Yeah.
on of Western Legends. So we'll
Yep.
see, we'll see. By the
Okay.
way, Western Legends is one of the games that I haven't played in almost a year.
You know what?
That's
Western Legends is the only game that I backed and almost immediately regretted it. I'm not sure why. And when I got the copy, I
uh,
sold it without opening it.
oh, why? What
I don't
happened?
know. I don't know. I think after backing, I saw more like I educated myself. I saw more videos about it. I saw some gameplays, and then I just decided that it wasn't for me.
Wow, wow.
I know I was crazy. That was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. No, I
yeah.
actually like it, and I got excited. I was I, the first time I played. Well, not the first time. After a couple of times playing
Hmm.
the game,
Hmm.
I decided I really wanted the expansions. You
Hmm.
know, to
Hmm.
have the whole experience.
Yep.
But for some reason, the expansions were sold out, and they were very
Mm.
difficult to get and stuff. And then they had this. They got this campaign when
Hmm.
you have the whole thing, the big box, all
Everything.
the expansions, all the deluxe components,
The
blah blah
all
blah. I
in.
say that's my chance, and I took it. I took it. I went for it, and I have the big box. I already assembled all the pieces and stuff. It's just
Hmm.
ready to to just
Have
waiting
some
for
time.
his chance. It's just waiting for his chance right now, and hopefully it gets soon. But
Yeah.
at this moment, it's just waiting patiently as well in the shelf of shame.
All right.
Anyways,
Well, hopefully it gets out
hopefully,
to the table soon.
yeah. So
Adri
that's my
mentions
chismecito.
Adri mentions a couple other games from Cranio Creations. You have Lorenzo El Magnifico, Golem,
All right.
Newton. I have not played any of them.
I played once Lorenzo. It
Okay.
was good so far.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. It
that's fun.
seems I heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up another episode of the After Game Night podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
everyone.
it's been a pleasure to create a new vision of Mondays for you guys. So
It's always
far.
fun. It's always
That's
fun
fun.
talking about board
It's
games.
fun. It's a fun time. It's a fun time on Mondays, which is extremely rare. I hope that you and all our viewers have a really nice week
Hmm.
ahead, and you have the chance of playing games, which is basically why we're here for the love of games, right?
For the love of games, for the
For the love of
obsession
games.
of the
For
love
the
of
obsession
games.
of games. Yeah. So we're going to post a new question for what could be the next episode, the theme for the next episode. Probably the question will be out uh, starting Thursday, Wednesday, maybe
Wednesday. The question
Wednesday.
for the which for the people that are doesn't don't follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
On the
Please do.
Instagram account of the podcast, we post a poll on two topics
Hmm.
that you guys get to help us choose for the next episode, so next Monday. So feel free to vote. Usually after we choose a topic on Saturday, then we ask the question to you guys so that just like you saw, we get to share it with our viewers.
You are part of
So
this podcast,
you
people.
are, yes, you're part of the
So
conversation.
thank you so much for following for the guys that are already following us and watching our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're promising that we are trying to keep it fun and try to keep
Yeah,
the same vibe that we are just it's a conversation after game night basically. That's why
that's
we
what it
have
is.
the name of game.
That's that's exactly
Perfect,
correct. Just before we
perfect.
leave, I'll mention that how I feel about Western Legends is how she feels about Eternal Palace. Do you know Eternal Palace?
No, I haven't played
Eternal
that one.
Palace. She says that
Mm.
she's trying to psych herself up about it. So I guess she was excited, she got it, but now she's maybe regretting it.
I don't want that. I don't want that happen to me, but I don't
Well,
know at this
we'll
point.
see.
I don't know at this point. I'll need to play it. I'll need to play that. I will try to convince myself when I'm playing it. I really like the game. Yeah, I'm enjoying the time
Yeah.
sphere.
Hopefully it looked good. I mean, after I sold, I was like, maybe I wasn't. Maybe
Maybe I
I should have
shouldn't have
kept
to.
it. But
Yeah.
anyway. Adri says,
Mm.
"Thank you, Axel, asking people. Hard topic, but also a great one. Thank you, Adri. Thank you, Alba.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
everyone
Thank you
who
for
joined
being
us on the
here
chat. We hope to see you again next Monday. We hope
after
that
other game night.
after other game nights, exactly. So
Yeah.
take care, and we'll be seeing you around on the Instagram or next Monday.
Yeah. Hopefully both. Bye.